UFC 324, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm just going to go over a little recap of what happened and what went well, what didn't. And yeah, just a lesson basically to move on. So without further ado, I think overall I had really good leans as usual. I sometimes I zigged where I should have zagged, as I say, but I mean, there's some things that, it's betting, guys. It's gambling. We just can't know exactly what's going to happen, or we'd all be millionaires overnight. Ricky Tercios versus Cameron Summerlin getting canceled. You know what I mean? That could have been a good over. Michael Johnson versus Alexander getting Hernandez getting canceled because of some crazy line movement that looks fishy. That's crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, I kind of one thing I always like to get this early action parlay, and I get like 2 legs on there, and it's messed up because like Ty Miller and Josh Hockett, I like both of them to win, but I was like, I was trying. Maybe I played too safe. In the long run, it's a good thing, but I played it too safe in that, like, Ty Miller, there's some red flags there. Like, obviously, coming off the DMX Contender Series, you know what I mean? Sometimes under the big, bright lights of the UFC, when they make it in there, they kind of perform different. They might lay a dud, as they say. And Josh Hockett, I mean, it's just a big boy throwing around. And Denzel Freeman, is like got decent wrestling background there. So, but I mean, I picked them to win. I thought it should have just gotten like, put them in a couple parlays in the early prelims, the prelim parlays, just something to get some early action on, because I'm often successful with those, just for a little sprinkle there. So I kind of kick myself for not doing it, but hindsight's 2020. And then, sometimes, guys, these early action parlays, like I said, it's just something for fun because, there's some sketchy matchups there. There's some red flags. But yeah, I kind of kick myself for not just biting the bullet. Going on from that, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, Alex Perez, man, messing up John Johnson. I mean, and I said, yeah, I mean, look, I gave him his flowers. I was talking about how he is a vet. You know what I mean? He's fought the who's who and stuff. But I'm like, at this stage, you've seen him like the inactivity and the injuries, and it's just like Charles Johnson. You know what I mean? I know MMA math doesn't work, but what the heck? He beat Joshua Van, and Charles Johnson energy, man. He's got he's legit. He can play his cards right. But now Alex Perez, he showed his he showed his vet, and I know he's been working his veteran mentality. I'm sorry. And he came out there aggressive, man. He's trying to prove a point, showing that he's an underdog. And yeah, I kind of kicked myself for sprinkling, but that's, like I said, hindsight 2020, kind of pre-hedging. I don't mind doing pre-hedging actually at all if it seems like it makes sense, if there's a really good odds for that. But yeah, man, he went out there just he's just like, I'm not gonna get disrespected by this line. Boom, and finishes them. And Charles Johnson, like, he did what he did to survive, but man, he was getting rocked. And yeah, Alex Perez has been training with my boy Cody Garbrandt, so obviously he's going to get good wrestling and boxing in. So, but yeah, it is what it is, man. That's crazy. So I mean, it is what it is, though. I mean, we move on, right? Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukakas. I mean, yeah, it's like, I remember talking about that. Like, what the heck? I was on Elite Fight Bets, man. We're talking about this Krylov, like, the crazy some different props, and really kicking myself for not just taking it, because I thought Bukakas. I was leaning Bukakas to win, butchering his name, but Modestas is like, I thought, it's kind of like a really iffy fight. So I thought, it's almost like Krylov, just because he becomes a dog, it's kind of have to sprinkle on him or just leave it, and just end up leaving it. And then looking at like him by KO, him by sub, like there's some crazy odds. Really kicking myself for not sprinkling on those, but it is what it is, guys. So I feel like that's the main thing of this. I was being a little too cautious. Like, in the long run, you should be cautious because you want to make, we want to get profitable in the long run, right? Overall, but there's some times, man, look at those lines, guys, just for fun. You know what I mean? When you see some good odds, look at the implied odds, man, and sprinkle. That's I'm telling myself right now, man, I'm kicking myself. And then Atilla got there, man. What the heck? Of course, Pelayev. I mean, it's just tough because, like, for it to go, I mean, that's why it's the question marks, right? Like, okay, he's out there, he's good at being the hammer. What happens when you're the nail? Like, if you blow your load, pause, trying to finish this dude, and because we talked about that as well. The lactic acid, like, he's really powerful guy. How is he gonna look when he get after that first round? Is he going to have the gas tank to put up with it? So it was, answer some questions there. Pulaev, I mean, the division there. I mean, they in middleweight they know, all right, as long as I can avoid his power, or if I can just weather through the flames or the storm, whatever analogy you want to use to do it, right? If you can get past that to like the round 2 and stuff, like, you can get it. As long if you're active, you can land some good kicks. Those body kicks from Pulaev were really, really good, man, really punishing. And yeah, I mean, Guthrie gets it by decision. So it's like, man, his money line was just like terrible, like value, and it obviously did not. It was not justified. But yeah, I mean, I thought like you know what I mean? The Magical decision, fight doesn't distance doesn't hit, under 2.5 doesn't hit, under 1.5, any of those, of course, doesn't hit. So that's just bullcrap. But it is what it is. It's hey, I mean, like I said, there's always that was the question. So it goes out there good at being the hammer. But what happens when you're nailed? I mean, you can't just expect to KO these guys in the first round all the time. There's as the competition gets up, now work on your cardio and your output. But anyway, move on. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Figueroa. Yeah, this one was kind of I liked. Of course, Umar just value again with the money line like that. But it's kind of obvious. There's some obvious ones you can put them in there, but it's just I thought just to make it juicier. I like the over rounds too. Starts round 2 should be okay too. And I thought over 1.5, yeah, it should hit. But I was worried because Figueiredo, he looked kind of drained at the weigh-ins, and he's obviously smaller at this weight class. People were talking about his power, but I was Umar actually has decent striking, and he has the Dagestani style of the wrestling. And I thought typically stylistically, if you have this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style, you're either kind of against a good wrestler, top pressure, you're kind of sub or bust because you're going to be on your back and you're going to be in guard trying to look up, hit a sub. And I think Umar should be wise to it to at least defend against the sub attempt. So I thought, and that's why I wanted to kind of just for fun, just to make it more fun. I was hoping Umar would try to get out there and prove a point, maybe get TKO or submission win. I thought, but actually my friend Elite Fight Bets, we were talking about that. He's nah, these the Dagestani style most likely I could see go decision. I was you know what, yeah, that's why I like the overs, and so the overs hit. That's great, but yeah, not a very exciting fight, and it is what it is. That's why I made that meme. If you check it out on my Instagram, death taxes and Nurmagomedov and a women's MMA going overs, going to decisions. Just got to play that stuff. Speaking of which, but what made up for a man, dude. I was looking for this fight. I was so busy. I was out and about doing stuff, and but Arden Allen versus John Silva. Yeah, I mean, I liked from the beginning when this fight was announced. I was oh, Allen as a dog. I liked him as a dog, but. And that's why the Silva parlay, they made the Silvas, man. I have it on there. I wish I just would have, hindsight's 2020, but I wish I would have all the stuff I was leaning and all the wins I like. Wish I would just really bit the, really bit the bullet and just put more units on that stuff. But yeah, I knew it was gonna be back and forth. It's really interesting just going decision. Arden Allen, like I said, I think, and it went kind of how I thought it would be. I was Arden Allen's a good dog. He's well-rounded. He's durable. So I think he's gonna bring the fight to him. But overall, the pick is John Silva. Just because I think it's a danger factor, and he's going to go in there after the Diego Lopez loss. I think he's going to come in a little more calculated. But they just went right, doing exactly what they do. They fought the way they fought. Allen was just a great fight. So yeah, John Silva wins, and even the overall props wins for that. But yeah, no finish, man. And then Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Yeah, it's a weird one because some people are saying Rose maybe won, but I was if you look at the verdict scorecards, and I kind of the card scored it just as mean too. I'd have to rewatch it, but it's not the most exciting fight. I don't really want to rewatch that unless I'm tape sitting. But yeah, round one maybe Silva, round 2 Rose, and round 3 she edged out. I mean, it just a good how you ended the round. She was able to reverse it, and I think it was good. I mean, outlanded her more turtle strikes, and 63, as opposed to 46, and the significant strikes, yeah, she outlined her 51 to 26. Looks here, takedowns 1 of 2, and yeah, Ruben's got it 1 of 5. That's how I listed it, and yeah, I mean that's why it's her, and that's why I liked it. We talked about this, her money line, and I like the overs first. I look at my leans, I'm okay, her money line, and it's kind of chalky, but I'm all right, starts on 2, super chalky too, over 1.5 chalky, but it should hit fine. And I should have just done with her by decisions because, you know what I mean? But the odds, I didn't like, the odds have to be juicier for that. I don't like when it's really crap odds. But yeah, it is what it is. What do you want to say about that, But Walter Cortez Costa picked him too against Derek Lewis. I thought Lewis is a good dog because, he just has that nuclear power. But Costa, man, yeah, he got it. I mean, it's just great when you see a fight like that. All right, you think, he's going to win, and then fight doesn't go distance, of course, going to hit. And that was really one, shout out to, yeah, man, CB, man, Cheddar Betters. I know he's called Cheddar Betters, Ed, but my guy, yeah, I talked about the over 1.5 for this, hitting, and that did hit. That's crazy. I was yeah, because I mean, Cortez is going to be smart about it. He's going to try not to get knocked out. And I was yeah, it's a good, there's value on that. So that's really good too. But yeah, but it's kind of nice, over 1.5 hits, but anything over that loses because his fight doesn't go distance. Kind of sweet. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong, man. I mean, this one is interesting. I did pick O'Malley, but when they were in the weigh-ins, you could see the height. I was kind of surprised that there was not so much of a height difference. I mean, because when you can see their stats, but when you actually see them face off, it's oh, Yadong's good. And it's kind of weird one because like this one, I like the O'Malley money line, of course, but I also like the overs. I didn't know it was going to go to decision though. I thought maybe we could see like a late. I was like, it didn't surprise me that much. I think the overs, and if finish happens, probably it's going to be like in round 3 or something. So I thought the over 1.5 could be fine with that. But yeah, I mean, Sean. It's just he was doing good stuff. Like I like the front kicks. I like especially the jabs really good. But he likes it. He's a jab and move. Like his movement's always good. Like we knew it would be. But I feel like Yadong really brought to him. I think, and I said that Yadong, you're working with Team Alpha Male. I mean, they're going to have like that kind of. He likes to have that wrestling style where they don't really dominate with wrestling, but it's there. And it's really good that he tried to use it against O'Malley. Actually, I was kind of worried that he could win like that if he's smart with it. But if he does the dirty boxing, you have to go through the fire, get jabbed up, and walk through it, and try to land some hooks and bombs with dirty boxing. But I mean, O'Malley was smart to stick and move. It's just that you can see when you on a losing streak, O'Malley, I think he wanted to get his confidence back, and so it's not the same kind of highlight style of O'Malley, but he did what he had to do to win. Stick and move, stick and move. It's just that going forward, you kind of like you have to kind of question how's he going to look going forward. Like if you stick and move, once he goes through a guy that's going to really bring the pace to him, really get in his face, and really be aggressive with either takedowns or at least straighten takedowns, or going with like a lot of like dirty boxing, get in the he could actually lose it depending on the matchup. So yeah, it was good, but I mean it was kind of you know what I mean. It's interesting. You can take something from that. You can kind of see where you would want to fade him or go with him, and and overs. And Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, man, interesting one. I mean I had Paddy on this too, but I think I always said Gaethje is a good dog too, and I kind of kicking myself for not really going for it. But one thing that pissed me off, I had either the fight to end by sub. Also, I had a little spring on that. It kind of pissed me off because like Justin Gaethje seemed like he had like freaking he actually landed 3 takedowns, 3 of 3, and he had that front headlock, and I was like, man, there's no Darce attempt. And my favorite sub is the Anaconda. I was like, I know he's not known for it, but I'm like, you could have tried it, man. Damn, dude. But Paddy Pimblett also, like, I mean, it was such a strange thing. Like he didn't listen to his corner and just kind of showed bad fight IQ or maybe a stubbornness. Like I understand why you would try to fight, but why are you trying to kickbox with Justin Gaethje, the highlight? Like your bread and butter is the grappling. And I wasn't sure he's going to get it. Like he's not going to go for a takedown, a double leg. I'm sorry, and get. He's not known for the really crazy wrestling pressure, but for the grappling. And so I thought he couldn't even just use like get a body lock, use a trip. Like there was he didn't really even try to do the grappling. I thought that was so strange. Like once I get getting you're trying to set things up, getting busted up on the face. Okay. And then I think by the time it's a 5-round fight, you don't think by round 2 you want to switch it up a little bit? By round 3, man, try just you're losing this anyway. Like it was so strange. Like I was not surprised about it being back and forth. I mean, Paddy's got some power too. I thought Justin would be able to land on him, and especially with the style of having hands down. But I thought then he would try to like land something and eventually lead to some kind of grappling. But really disappointed in that. It was like bad fight IQ. I think if I mean, it is what it is. Whatever, we can say whatever we want behind the screen, but he could have at least even attempted and then like try to do some grappling. That was his path to victory, man. Like just implement the grappling any way you can. You don't even have to necessarily sub him, but at least use some sub attempts. But I mean, come on, man. When you win against Bryce Mitchell, and Bryce is known for just most of his grappling, and he did it that way. It's just like, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of so many things, but yeah, it's strange. It was very strange. Bad. I mean, I'm not surprised that Justin Gaethje won, but I'm surprised how it went down. I'm like, no sub guys, like man, damn, Justin Gaethje. I mean, shit for the meme, just try it, man. It'd been fun to do that shit, dude. But yeah, it's just crazy, dude. Yeah. But anyway, we'll take these lessons. We'll move on. And yeah, I had some good leans. Just I could wish I would have been less safe in some areas, but also and just maybe taking a chance more, been a little bit riskier, like went for some more value, which I try to do, but. Yeah, I just was a little too gun shy. But yeah, next weekend we're killing it. So whatever. Keep it here. Like, sub. Let me know what you're liking and fading for the next card. And let me know what you did on this card.